All right, we're going to start 7th grade in item number 9. And item number 9 is going to be the circumference and area of circles. And you notice we're going to use circumference now instead of perimeter, because that is the word for perimeter of this circle, something that goes all the way around. Okay, we're going to start by defining some words in the back of our book. So you're going to head towards the back and find item number vocab number 32. Okay, 32 is going to be circumference. C-I-R-C-U-M-F-E-R-E-N-C-E. So the circumference is the distance around a circle. So we're going to say circumference and not perimeter. The distance around a circle. And 33 is going to be pi, which most of you know as this symbol. Okay, and pi is the ratio. You should know what that means, of the circumference and we're going to refer to circumference as C to the diameter. And we would refer to diameter as D. So pi is equal to circumference over diameter. Okay, and we're going to be really going through that quite a bit during this whole thing. Okay, so you can go ahead and pause if you need more time, or you can go back to your notes with me. Okay, so circumference and area of a circle. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with circumference. Okay, so circumference is, let's write it in words, the circumference of a circle, we're just going to draw a circle, is pi times the diameter, or 2 pi times the radius. And sometimes it's a little hard to understand in words, so let's go ahead and write that out as a formula. The formula, which is a little bit more understandable and easier to swallow, is circumference is equal to diameter times pi, or circumference is equal to 2 pi times the radius, because diameter is just 2 radii, so that would be the same thing there. Okay, let's look at an example of how this might work, and I'm just going to draw a freehand circle. We're going to assume it's a perfect circle. So here's a nice circle, center here, diameter is 6, which makes the radius 3 because the radius is half the diameter. So here circumference is going to be diameter, which is 6 times pi, or if we use the other one, we could say circumference is 2 times the radius, which is 3 times pi, which is still 6 pi, which is the same thing. If we use 3.1, let's use 3.14 for pi, we're going to get 6 times pi, which is, we're going to use our squiggly lines for approximately, since 3.14 is a number that goes on forever. We're going to round it, so we have 18.8 units. And then here it would be the same thing. Circumference is 18.8 units. It's just units, not unit squared, because circumference is similar to perimeter. It's the area or the number that goes around the circle. Okay? Now let's look at some more examples. Okay, let's call this example 1. Let's look at example 2. Here's another circle, and it has the radius of 4 centimeters. And I want you to find the circumference. So we say circumference is equal to 2 times pi times r, since r is what was given. Circumference then is equal to 2 times pi times 4. We'll multiply those constants together. 4 times 2 is 8 pi. So circumference is 8 pi. We're going to use 3.14 for pi. And when we multiply that out, circumference, because we're rounding, we'll use wavy lines, is approximately 25.1 centimeters. Again, just centimeters, not squared, because it's perimeter, which is circumference for circles. And our last example here, we're going to have a circle with a diameter of 4.5 inches. So this case, circumference is going to equal diameter times pi. Circumference is going to equal 4.5 times pi. If we use 3.14 times pi, we're going to multiply that out, and we're going to get C wavy lines, which means approximately 14.1 inches. Okay, so that is some examples of how we would figure out circumference, and you want to make sure that you remember the formulas or you're able to write them on your note card. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move a page over. Pause if you need more time. Continuing on item number 9. We're now going to talk about the area of a circle. And the area of a circle, we're going to be using pi, of course. In words, we're going to say the area, and we're going to denote that A, just like we would with other things, of a circle is pi times the radius, and we're going to call that r, and then we're going to say squared. And it's much easier to look at this in a formula, right? Because formulas are good for us to remember, and those are going to be things we're going to write on our note card for our test. That would say area is equal to pi times the radius squared. Okay, that's exactly what that looks like, and let's see some examples of what that might look like when we're actually doing it with our homework. Okay, so let's say I have a circle, and the circle has a radius of 3, and I want to find the circumference. So I would say area is equal to pi r squared. Area is equal to pi times 3 squared, because 3 is the radius. So now I know the area is equal to 9 pi. If I use 3.14 as pi, that's going to give me area approximately, because I'm rounding, to 28.83 units, and this time it's squared because we are using area. Okay, and let's continue with some more examples. Let's call this example 1, and we'll call this example 2. Here is a circle. It is going to have a radius of 5, and it says find the area. So remember that area is pi times r squared. This would be area is pi times 5 squared. And then we'd have area is equal to 25 pi. I just moved it to the front. Doesn't really matter if you leave it in the front or back. If we use our 3.14, we're going to get an approximation of 25 pi, which is 78.5 centimeters squared. Oh, I forgot to tell you that this is in centimeters. Okay, and let's do one last one. This time I'm not going to give you a drawing. I'm going to say find the area of a circle with diameter equal to 5.6 inches. Okay, well first we need to know that the area is pi r squared. Right now we don't have r. Remember that diameter is 2 times r. So if we know that diameter is 5.6, it's equal to 2r, we can quickly solve this dividing both sides by 2, and we're going to get that the radius is then 2.8 inches. Okay, because that divides it right in half. So now we can take this radius and plug it into this equation over here. We'd have area is equal to pi times 2.8 squared. Area is equal to 2.8 squared, which is 7.84 times pi. If we use 3.14 for pi, we're going to get area is approximately 24.6 inches squared because it is area. Okay? So that's really all there is to do with the circumference and the area of a circle. I'd like you to log on to my.hrw.com, and I'd like you to watch videos 3 and 4 so that you get some application problems, so that the word problems will be good for you. So watch those word problems. When you're done watching those word problems, you're going to do the homework, which is 9.4, and you're going to do 1 through 13 odd and number 14 as well. Okay, and that will be due tomorrow. Okay, so if you have any questions on your homework or about the video, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, go ahead and get started. Thank you.